go fast.
That's why I'm just on the face. I ain't wearing all of them.
I need to finish eating too. Okay. Oh, goodness. Y'all. Y'all, we couldn't wait to get on here. We couldn't wait to get on here. So we could talk about the Raggedy behind company and how they just did this, y'all.
You done nasty.
He did it so wrong. Where we gonna start it?
First of all, he said he a female lesbian in the beginning anyway.
No, that ain't where we gonna start it.
That's how you should know.
No, we gonna start out how the recruiters, what the recruiter was saying.
First of all, y'all don't mind that we in the hotel. We ain't make it home. We was too
Y'all,
tired.
we ain't made it home because they just left us stranded. That's what it really is.
And we was too tired.
And so we headed home, but we sleeping, so we had to stop. But that ain't the point.
That ain't the part. That messed up.
Anywho, let's talk about this Raggedy company. Okay? See, now I can talk about them. Because they don't exist anymore.
They do not.
I don't know if y'all ever heard of car transportation, okay? They just got bought out. So they don't exist anymore. But car transportation. We went on board. Well, reset, take it away.
The recruiter lied.
She went on board with car transportation. I just rolled with her. I was her passenger, okay? And, you know, they was aware of it. They was aware that I was coming before, you know. And, maybe you guys tell my husband, you know, this is your experience. But
hell, you just who your experience with mine.
I don't remember the stuff that he was telling you and stuff. All I know, what I know is, it seemed like, because we was gonna be the only people on orientation at 1st. He called another gay couple that was supposed to start the next week after, and had them come a week early, so 2 gay couples could be in orientation together. Okay. So the guy brought his boyfriend, whoever he is, along, and then baby brought me along. All I don't know what was all said in the orientation, the little few hours of orientation that they had. All I know is he had me, in the first 2 hours, he had me sitting in just a room, just sitting there. They're so cheap that they made me check out of the hotel. Well, they told her to check me out of the hotel and bring me to the orientation with them. First of all, I'm trying to remember everything. There's no such thing as an orientation. Ain't no terminal. Do you hear me? There's no such thing as a terminal. They didn't have a terminal. They bought in, let me stop saying the word bought, because they ain't bought not a damn thing. They ain't bought nothing. They rented an office. You know, inside of those big buildings that you can rent out an office space or something. They rented out an office. Actually, they rented out 2 offices. And they just put their little name on the door inside of this big building. They have us come to this building. There's no trucks out there. There's no trailers. They ain't no nothing. They ain't got room for nothing. Enough. So they had me coming up, and they had me sitting in a room, just sitting there, while they're in the other room or whatever. And so then he had them go somewhere, I don't know, and we come back. and I'm sitting in the car in the heat, y'all. This man got me sitting out there in the heat. Do you hear me? For hours. This, instead of me staying at the hotel room, they're so cheap they didn't want to pay for another day. They had her check me out of the hotel room and come to the office with them so I could sit in the car for hours and burn up.
Let me add to this now. They told the other guy he was going to be in there 2 days. Told me one.
At the hotel. She's talking about the hotel. They told him they was going to give him 2 days at the hotel, but told her that we was going to get 1 day at the hotel. So they checked me out of the hotel
and left his partner.
And sat me. I'm in the car burning up while his partner is still at the hotel chilling. But that ain't the part that behooved me, okay? I don't care. I don't care.
My friend tagged that I need to
homeboy shot to you. But the part that behooved me is they had me sitting out there in the heat. First of all, the man ain't offered me no water. He ain't offered not a doggone thing. And do you know, after I sat there for all them hours, that man had the nerve to say he can buy her something for lunch, but he can't buy me nothing. That ain't funny.
Oh.
That ain't funny. That man sat there.
Oh yeah,
and he said, well, I need that part. Whatever, I can't move. Anywho, so yeah, they offered to get her something to eat. After they done had me check out, they told her to check me out of the hotel room. They didn't want me to stay. And made me come up to that terminal and sit up there for hours. Do y'all hear me? Hours. I'm out there starving. If I ain't had no money, I'd have been mad as hell. I'd have been mad. Do y'all hear me? Woo. Thank God I was already saying to her how I was going to go get something to eat and stuff like that. Because homeboy had the nerve to really say, after they knew that the spouses were brought, they said, well, we can get her something to eat, but we can't get you anything. Excuse me? Excuse me? Is you for real?
That was for real.
I know they was, because he didn't say that. After they treated me like trash, don't have the nerve to say, well, maybe you should think about coming on board. Man, F you in your company and everything y'all stand for, homeboy.
She mad, y'all.
I don't know all the details. So I was already mad from the gate coming in because they treated me wrong. They had me sitting out in the heat for hours and said they ain't feeding me. What company do that? Every company, like we do this a lot. We do this a lot. She'll drive, I come ride with her. If we team together, we team together. If we don't, I drive, she'll come ride with me. Like we swap, do different kind of things, whatever we choose to do at the time. I have never, any of the times I've had baby come ride with me, I have never went to a company knowing that I was bringing my spouse along that has never paid for her. If they paid for me to have dinner, they paid for her to have dinner. Mm-hmm. They always gave me different extra ticket vouchers. This is for your passenger that you brought. This is for your spouse or whatever. This is the first time I have ever bumped into a company knowing that you were bringing your spouse alone and said, I can feed you, but I can't feed them. What the hell she look like letting you feed her and coming in my face eating?
I'm saying no food, baby, let's go.
I'd punch you in your throat right along with him.
I'm full, baby, let's go.
That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. So it started off wrong. I'm skipping a lot of details, but I'm just giving y'all what I seen. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then they had us. First of all, there was some crazy crooked stuff going on too. Because they bought a rental car, right? They got us a rental car and told her Don't say nothing to nobody. Don't say nothing to nobody because she wasn't supposed to be, I guess, driving the rental to the third place. They wanted her to drive the rental from Florida to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where the so-called terminal office was, and that's what they had on the paperwork. But they wanted her to take that same vehicle and take it and drive to this other so-called terminal that they have in Arkansas. But they said, don't tell nobody that. Don't tell nobody. Can't nobody know that part because she wasn't supposed to do that. First of all, that seems shady. Cause what y'all mean? Don't tell nobody. That didn't make no sense to me. But okay. Then we get there, ain't no office. And they starved me and had me sitting out there in the heat. So, whatever. We get done, we go get us something to eat, and we go ahead and we go drive to Arkansas. They said, excuse me, Lord, fuck having no rest. We don't care. That's what they said. Because we already had got there at like 2 o'clock in the morning and had to get right back up to come up there at 7 something. And stay there all day. Then they said, we're not going to get y'all a hotel right here so y'all can go back to sleep. Even though y'all only got 5 hours of sleep. We don't care about that. Y'all get in the car and go ahead and drive them 7 hours to Arkansas. And when y'all make it to Arkansas, then we can get y'all somewhere to stay up there too. That's what they said. Okay? Y'all, first of all, they had us in the Ramada Inn. I've been to some Ramada Inns that was alright. So, I ain't just assuming that the Ramada Inn was raggedy. But when we got to this Ramada Inn, the first one that was in Tennessee, it looks like a teenage club. That's what it looks like. It looks like a building that was a teenage club, and when you walk inside the building, it looks like a loft. You walk up the stairs, it looked like it had a bedroom, but it was really a hallway opening to doors. Y'all, that hotel was raggedy.
Mold.
It was mold in there. Noticeable mold, a lot. They're really cheap. It was a really cheap company. And so that was my initial thought of the company. But, whatever. Maybe things will get better. Hell no, it ain't get better. It didn't get better. It got worse. It got worse. We get to Arkansas. Tired as hell because we ain't got no sleep. But again, they don't care. They don't care that we didn't get no sleep. So we make it up. And we had another Ramada Inn. Now, okay, the second Ramada Inn was a little better. It was a little better. It wasn't no more, So whatever, we go ahead and lay down. Again, we got there a little late because, by the time we left out of the so-called orientation they had, we had to drive 7 hours to Arkansas. So we got there a little late. They don't give a damn. We still had to wake up early the next day to get her into the so-called, little check-in.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, let me tell you my initial thought of the so-called terminal was. Again, it wasn't a terminal. We pulled in, there were 4 trucks. No, it was 5 trucks, but one of them was tore up, meaning there's 4 that was supposed to have been operable. Okay?
The recruiter told me that it was a lot of trucks, though.
Yeah, it was supposed to have been a lot. Y'all, it was about like maybe 10, 11 trailers. Mm-hmm. No, that's giving them too many trailers. It was about 8 or 9 of them.
But the recruiter told me they had about
yeah, it was about 8 or 9 trailers. And it was 5 trucks. One of them was towed up. So it was 4 of them that's supposed to be operable. One of them they gave to the guy. Again, like I said, they brought another gay couple in so we wouldn't feel weird. So they gave to the guy, and then one of them they gave to her. Now I'm gonna have to let her tell y'all about the trucks. All I know was it was raggedy. It was raggedy.
No, I can show y'all about the trucks.
We had only been at the company for a week and a half, y'all. We've been in the shop 4 times? We've been in the shop 4 times. I got the video on my own about it. I'm sure those that follow me on Facebook and stuff, I'm sure y'all seen it. Y'all, the tire was off the rim. Do y'all hear me?
Wait, I gotta put this. Do y'all see
Y'all, that's how the truck was when we got it. Like, it was so raggedy. It had this lock on it that was so rusted. They had to come and break the lock. They had to come break the lock off. Like, it was so much stuff wrong with that truck. But, you know, I wanted, low-key, excuse me, Lord, but low-key, I wanted to tell her, the fuck that company, come on, let's go. I wanted to tell her that, you know. But, you know, baby wanted to go to the company. You know, she got a little more patience than I do. She willing to give people a little more chances than I do. So, you know, and this ain't my job, you know. Like I said, I'm the passenger this time. I'm sitting back chilling. So, you know, that's not my place. So, I was more so, I'm there through whatever. So, if you want to stick with them, I'm going to stick with you while you deal with their mess, you know. So, I'm just sitting up. But all I'm thinking is, it's Raggedy from the gate. So this is supposedly the shop. For y'all that's just coming on, we to my car transportation. But shut up, don't laugh. We to my car transportation. But they did just sell the company though. They sold the company, y'all. Let me tell y'all, they hired my baby on, right? They hired my baby on. Huh?
The recruiter did not tell nothing.
The recruiter ain't say a god doggone thing. Do you hear me? They hired my baby on a week and a half ago, and then just a couple days later, gonna tell her that they sold the company. Y'all, we was so thirsty. Like, we've been recording videos along the way of the whole experience. So I'm still gonna upload the videos because I know that it's a lot that I'm leaving out. But it was a lot of time. Every time something happened, we recorded at that moment so y'all can get our initial reactions to them. So I'm going to be posting them over the next couple days because that shit didn't make no sense at that company. It didn't make no sense. So, like I said, she was only there for a week and a half and she had been in the shop like 4 times. Y'all, the tires, raggedy. When we first got the truck and we started putting our things in, she had to keep calling the guy from the shop because there was so many issues on the truck that she was trying to get him to fix. And she kept pointing out an issue that she had with the steer tire. The steer tire, something was wrong with it. It was gashes in it, big, deep gashes in them. They ain't give a damn. They said deliver their loads. They don't care. They'll fix it later. Homeboy, this a whole steer tire. That steer tire blow out, we dead if we can't control that thing. Homeboy, if you don't fix that tire, what? I swear to God. The problem, the sad part is both of the steer tires was messed up. We later on find out. Man, if them tires would have, we wouldn't even be here to tell y'all the story, man. Boy, both of the tires was messed up. But they didn't want to fix them.
They didn't care.
They did not care. The makeup of their truck is raggedy. Y'all, we burnt like hell in that truck. Burnt up. Do you hear me? Because of, they don't want you to idle. They're a really cheap company. They were trying their hardest to not have to pay money for things. You can't idle.
They log RPMs. They got all that stuff.
They have an old school dinosaurs ELD system by Rand McNally. I have never seen that ELD machine ever. Now I've used. Shut up, baby.
That been from back in 19 when they first started.
I swear, like I've used, mainly all of them. I know Lord. I know, Qualcomm. I know PeopleNet. All the peoples. I have never seen that Rand McNally system ever in my life. That stuff was so confusing, y'all. The so-called orientation that they went through, they didn't teach them anything. They didn't show them what to do. They didn't show them how to sign the paper, what their process was, what they need to turn in for pay, how to do.
That man gave me a folder.
Nothing. They ain't say these your macros. This how you work this machine. Now when he asked her has she ever worked a machine before, she said nah. He said it's easy. He ain't say well let me give you a little quick rundown. This how no. He didn't say nothing. He threw her to the wolves. Do you hear me? Now normally when baby get thrown into the woods, a lot of times I can help her because I bumped into that before. I know how to do it. I had never even seen that shit before. I didn't know what I was looking at, y'all. We was stuck. Do you hear me? We didn't know what was going on. Baby was all for herself that time because she's like, do what I gotta do. Bruh, oh no. All I can do is try and Google it. Let me see.
That's one of them old systems, like,
yeah.
they still could, they really ain't supposed to have it. They can go in and change the logs and stuff. That's one of that system just that old.
They run like, I can't really say what I want to say because that sounds a little, They run like they ain't got no business running. They run illegally. So there was a lot of things. My girlfriend and I have church. Let's say, you delivering a load or whatever, and you about, 20 miles away, but you ain't got that much time left or whatever. They tell you, PC to the load. You got 20 miles left, go ahead and PC.
That was in my
They go deliver. They go deliver. Yes! Do y'all know that this is in the packet that they gave her to tell you how they run their company? That it's in there, typed up in paperwork, saying go on PC and drive the load in. When you get there and get onto a dock, go off duty. Bro, that's illegal as fuck. That's illegal. Do y'all know how many times she too nice? I can't. She mean in the areas that I'm nice in, and then the areas that she nice in, I'm mean. Cause you got me bent. If you think
I didn't do that, by the way.
She ain't do it though. But homeboy,
yeah, that was made by that.
Let me tell you. You know how many times I was telling her, all you gotta do is go ahead and drive in that weigh station and go take that paperwork to DOT and ask them, is this legal? I wish I was behind the wheel. Because I would have pulled smooth into the weigh station. Do you hear me? And be like, I understand I have the green light. Thank you. I understand that you bypassed me. But I wanted to come and run something by you real fast. So I work for car transportation. You see this right here? I want you to look at this packet. Look at this message that they just sent me. And I want you to tell me if this is legal or not, okay? Let me tell you how dumb the doggone dispatchers is. That car transportation had, okay? Let me tell you. First of all, I knew these fools was dumb and didn't know what they were talking about and didn't have no trucking experience when they told this girl that you don't need deaf to run a truck. What? What you mean you don't need deaf? She trying to tell them she needs some deaf for her truck. The man gonna say, you don't need deaf to run a truck. What? What you mean you don't need deaf to run a truck?
You must be stressed out.
Something wrong with you. Wait, I think he thought we were talking about a car.
You don't need deaf in the car.
Well, that ain't what he said. He said you don't need deaf in the truck.
He said them trucks don't run off deaf.
He said trucks don't run off deaf, y'all. This is what the dispatcher, the DM, the person I gotta talk to on a regular, this is what he's telling me. This man is truck illiterate. He said these trucks don't run off of deaf. You don't need it. After we said, wait, what? What you talking about? He was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I forgot. Whew. But how I know they was real slow, y'all? I gotta come close to the camera.
How you know they were real slow?
How I know they was real slow? I gotta pull the messages up, y'all. I took pictures of these messages because something wrong with them. tell y'all, right? So everybody and their mama know, you got 70. Now, we ain't talking about recap because I put this on my Facebook and there was some super truckers on there who tried to go on there. I'm like, well, you can drive past that. That's not what I'm talking about. That ain't what I'm talking about, so don't even start there. So, if you got 3 hours and 13 minutes left on your 70-hour clock, that means that you are able to drive and be on duty for 3 hours and 13 minutes, correct? That means after that, you are done until you have recap hours come back, correct? Y'all tell me what this say. So baby had 3 hours and 13 minutes left on her 70, right? Let me find the messages. I had to message them for her because she just be ready to snap. No, you gotta be polite and make them feel like they're stupid. So they told her to go ahead and take the load in. I can't go ahead and take the load in if I only have 3 hours and 13 minutes on my 70 and it's super early and I'm like 6 hours away. I'm not gonna make it. I mean, I have to shut down early. Nope, not in their eyes. They said go ahead and take it in because you have time. Matter of fact, no, I don't. These people text back. After we said, you do see that I have 3 hours and 13 minutes on my clock left. I ain't making this shit up. I screenshotted these. These people messaged and said, this is a dispatcher. Hello. Looks like you have a full clock now. This is after she took a 10-hour break, okay? She took a 10-hour break. But after her 10-hour break, of course, her time reset. But she only has 3 hours and 13 minutes left on her 70, okay? It's early in the morning. It's like midnight, okay? Or something like that. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. She won't get no time back until that next midnight. You know what I mean? Okay. But again, she just took a 10-hour break. It says, hello. Looks like you have a full clock now and can roll on in. Showing you do have 3 hours and 13 minutes left on 70, but you currently have full drive and on duty. What fucking sense do that make? That don't make no sense. What you mean? So apparently, you see that I have 3 hours and 13 minutes left on my 70. What you mean I got a full drive? I currently have a full drive and on duty. Girl, you looking at my time reset after my 10-hour break. You looking at how I would have had a full 11 and a full 14. But you're not looking at the fact that I have a 313 on my 70. I mean, well, you are because you pointed it out in the message, but you're not looking at that part because you're so illiterate. You're not understanding. I don't understand why they're hiring these people who have no truck literacy at all. I don't understand. That makes no sense to me. So I had to respond back because I had to get her to understand that she was slow. So this is what I messaged her. Thank you for responding to my message. You're right. I have 3 hours and 13 on my 70, meaning I can only drive and be on duty for 3 hours and 13 minutes, which at that point I would have to shut down until midnight for my recap hours to come back. I also understand how the ELD system works, and that after my 10-hour break, it resets the 14 and the 11. But it still counts my 70 down, and that's still all that I can work. But I'm going to get closer to the drop, though, and shut down. I just wanted to inform you guys so you wouldn't question why I shut down. Since they wanted her to deliver the load so bad, I'm gonna drive these little 3 hours out. But y'all think I'm going to say that?
They want me to PC.
They want her to PC after she run out of time for them little 2 hours or however long it was to take the load in. What the These were some illegal people, y'all. They did a lot of illegal things. And it proved that when the new company bought them out, right? And not everybody got attitude problems because the new company, I'm not gonna put their name out, but the new company, they seem to be doing things by the book. They didn't like that. They was like, oh, now we can't PC the load in. You wasn't supposed to be doing that in the first place. What you mean? I'm confused. Y'all, it was so much with this company, y'all. Let me tell y'all. Then, yesterday, all hell broke loose.
It was already ahead of the curve, though. But we felt like it was going to be some.
So, yesterday was Friday, right? Mm-hmm. So, baby was supposed to get her first check yesterday, okay? Mm-hmm. Thursday come and they said that the paycheck stub was supposed to have been posted, but for some reason, hers didn't post. We don't understand why, okay? Friday comes. Her paycheck stub posted, but no money. There's no money to show for it. They kept calling her. Now we had to go in the shop again. So whatever. And again, she only had 3 hours. We had to wait for time to come back, you know. But they didn't care. They wanted her to take that load in. And because they're so slow and they don't understand hours and all that stuff like that, they prolong time because they made her drive on in instead of shutting down and taking her 10, then taking it in. But they didn't understand. Whatever. So they pushed it out longer. So baby had to shut down. They blew her phone up 1,000,000 times. Literally over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And one person, she fell asleep for like 30 minutes, had called her 7 times.
Sleeper birds now. I'm asleep.
She is asleep. She is asleep. They're calling her because they want her to get up out her break and drive to take this load in. She still ain't got her money though. All of a sudden, she get off of her break, right? The man called, talking about some, because all of a sudden they snatched her check back. The paycheck stub is not in there no more, it's gone. So at this point, they playing with her money. They playing with her money. And some man called or somebody, you know, that whatever, something happened, I don't know, whatever. They try to put it on the whole transition of the person who bought it or whatever. Said they gonna have to get her an EFS check for her check. Well, bitch, give me my money now. Why I ain't getting it now? Oh, you want your load delivered first. You want your load delivered first before you give me money. Again, this is baby who likes to be patient with the companies and all that. Because she went on ahead and took the load in. She did the right thing. She took the load in, and you know, and they gave her the EFS checks. But you got me? They lucky. They lucky it wasn't me who was driving. I'm telling you, because boy,
you would have left the truck, but then you would have got your check.
They weren't trying to get a check anyway. They wasn't trying to get a check anyway. Do you hear me? So their truck would have been left right there. I don't give a goddamn. That truck in that doggone Budweiser bill, because they would have ate that load, because you got me messed up thinking you finna play with my money. You gonna play with that money too that you finna have to kick out to pay for that Budweiser load, because you got me messed up. Big. Do you hear me? Big. They held her check. They snatched her check back after they sent it off. They sent a paycheck stub, supposedly. They snatched the paycheck stub back and all of a sudden had an issue with her paycheck. There was some kind of problem with her money and it didn't post, and that they'll give her an EFS check. When she asked for her check, they ignored her. She called and called and called, ignored her. They waited till this girl went on duty, did her pre-trip, drove all the way to the delivery and unloaded, then sent her EFS codes. What? Y'all wanted to make sure that she delivered y'all load before y'all paid her. Yes. But bump all that. That's not the kicker, boy. Bump all that. Do y'all know? After she delivered their load, they called her and told her to drive their truck, drop off their trailer at a company, and take their truck to the yard for her to leave the keys because the new company wasn't going to get her. They put it on the new company that they just fired her. They didn't give a fuck how we were getting home. They didn't care about what we was gonna do. They didn't give a goddamn. Do you hear me? They did not care. Y'all. And I ain't saying this for y'all to feel sorry for us, giving no sympathy, none of that. This is so I can show y'all how raggedy these people was. Y'all, me and baby had to walk in the rain. Do you hear me? It was raining. It had started